Making sourdough bread became a popular hobby during the pandemic, but our next guest made a career out of it long before then. His passion has taken him from specialty bakeries to Michelin-starred restaurants, and now he's taken over social media.
It's true. And he's here today to share some of his professional bread-making knowledge. Is YouTuber Matthew James Duffy. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
We're excited to have you.
And you brought a little bit of bread, which I'm very excited about.
I brought a few.
But listen, you're gonna show us today, you're gonna take us through the bread-making possibilities from easiest to hardest. So we're starting with the easiest, which you say is challah bread.
Yeah, it's a really great place to start. It's a super versatile dough. Put everything in the mixer. There's no folding. It's really simple. You just kind of let it do its thing. And the braiding
gorgeous too, right?
Thank you.
Okay, so there's no yeast, or is there yeast in this? This is
Yeah, so this bread is made with commercial yeast, and the rest of them are made with a sourdough culture.
Okay.
So it makes it even easier because you don't have to manage a starter. You don't have to stay home all day. You can just get right into it.
Got it. Okay,
And commercial yeast, it's like the little thing in the envelope,
Yeah,
right?
there's some here somewhere.
Okay,
Gotcha.
We have some, we have
So
some,
take
yeah.
us through, okay, so just quickly, how do we make the dough?
So to make the dough, we put everything in the mixer: flour, eggs, olive oil, water, yeast, salt, sugar, or honey.
Yep.
Mix it together, and we're gonna give it about 90 minutes to rise, covered. Then we're gonna break it into strands, and then we're gonna shape them.
Braid. I feel like I can braid, because I've braided hair before.
Do it, Cynthia.
Wish me luck. Here we go. I'm gonna give it a go. You're gonna do a more advanced, basically a show-off version over there.
But you're gonna
try to do this one.
classic version.
This is really exciting. Oh, now what do I do? Here we go.
Good.
Okay, so
No,
keep
it looks
going.
good.
I love
Okay,
that you
keep
didn't
going.
remember how to...
Am I doing
You can
it
do
right?
this, you can do this, you got this. I'm watching your fingers and I don't know what the
Okay,
heck's
I think
going on.
I did it. Or do we hate this?
I think it's
is
pretty
it all right?
good,
You're being
yeah.
kind. It's
You
really,
can-
it's not as nice
You
as
can
it
go a little bit tighter, but other than that, I think it's great.
Do I undo it? Do I undo it?
No.
Okay.
That's why this is so easy to make, though. It's still...
Look at what you did!
Even...
Guys, the shot of this looks like a weird turkey. It is so... I'm gonna leave it. I love it.
This one is...
I love it.
Okay, so after you've braided, what happens next?
So we're gonna put this on a tray. We're gonna let it rise for about an hour,
Okay.
60 to 90 minutes, covered.
Yeah.
And we're gonna egg wash it. If you want, you can put seeds on it, and then we're gonna bake it, and that's it. So start to finish, 3.5 hours for something like that.
And you can add a lot of personality into this. Okay, we're gonna sample the challah you baked while you explain to us the next step in your our bread journey, which is making a sourdough starter. So I feel like that's a bit intimidating. So what should people know who feel like that's a bit much?
Yeah, so this can be a little bit intimidating when you first start. It is a wild fermentation, a fermentation of flour. Basically, we're cultivating the natural yeast that's in the flour. We're gonna let it ferment, sort of like what you would with kefir or yogurt.
Okay.
And then we're gonna add flour and water to perpetuate or keep it going.
Okay.
It's food for the starter. So it's gonna eat those sugars. It's gonna turn them into gas, which is CO2. That's gonna rise, and if you look really closely, you can see all those little bubbles in there.
Yeah.
And if you're daring, you can smell it. It's quite acidic. So
I've never...
Don't go too close.
Oh, that's a vibe.
So it's quite sour. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite sour, which makes a little... How do you tell if you're succeeding or failing when it comes to these?
So I think it's often overcomplicated. People think it's really difficult. A good way to know you succeed is just that. There is lots of bubbles, it's airy. Another way is the carbon dioxide gets trapped inside a gluten web. If you put it in a bowl of water, so if you just took a little bit of that out of there, it would float, and that carbon dioxide is gonna float, where if it sinks, we know that we need a bit of work, our temperatures are too cold, we need to work a bit harder. But when it's ripe like that, this would 100% float. You can see it's super bubbly and active. You can also kind of like swirl it around a bit.
Alive.
Yeah, it's alive, truly, right?
It's alive, yeah.
That is so cool. So once you have a successful starter, you say a great place to start for a starter, with the starter, is focaccia.
Yes.
Which I'm very excited. We've got some dough here, and I'm gonna start dimpling the dough like I've seen them do on TV. So walk me through this. I feel so professional.
Yeah, so this is a really great place to start. It's versatile. You're gonna press it through. It's fun. I do this with my kids all the time. They love it. You're gonna take some olive oil and put some olive oil all over it.
Okay.
You can do a pretty good amount, yep.
Okay.
And then with your fingers, you're gonna press all the way down to the bottom of the pan. And you should feel the bubbles coming up.
How does it feel? Jess.
Cynthia, I
feel
need
like-
you to do it. It feels so good. I'm making this every day.
No one's gonna want this bread where both of us have had this, but
You know what?
I'm going in.
It's gonna go in a 450-degree oven.
We'll split it.
It's gonna go in a hot oven. Don't worry about it.
This is like kind of a really sexy, sensual experience. I could see this on date night.
Yeah.
You get together with Simon and Jason.
You could.
Good
yeah.
idea.
Maybe I should make little date night starter packs where you send the dough.
Yeah.
You open it up.
Sexy.
Come up with some different toppings.
Yeah, massage it in.
Yeah, the music comes on when you
That's
open
right.
the box.
It's like that scene in Ghost, but different. Okay, we're gonna, while we try this focaccia, tell us about the process of making the difference between making a sourdough loaf versus focaccia.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit more advanced. This is a sourdough loaf here. You can see a couple on the table.
These are gorgeous.
Focaccia is really forgiving because it goes in the pan. So you can salt it if you want.
Right.
It gets baked. Essentially, it's a flatbread, whereas this, we want to develop enough tension to get a good shape. The beginning process is the same. Mix the dough, ferment the dough, let it rise. Then when we come to shaping, focaccia goes in the pan, whereas this bread actually gets shaped. So I'm gonna just gently flour the top of it.
We're gonna move this focaccia a little bit out of the way.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I'm gonna flip it over so that the wet side is up and the floured side is down. And then we're gonna kind of stretch this out. It's mixed very well, so it's extensible. It kind of stretches really well. And I'm gonna just pull the top down and kind of stitch my way down the loaf here. So it's making like a little package, like a little dough package. Flip it over. And then here you can see now you've got kind of what is going to be the shape of a bread. At this point,
Cute.
if you want to try it, you can. But if at this point we're gonna pick it up and put it in the basket so that the bottom is up.
Okay.
The bottom is up. Oh, gotcha.
Take it like a little bum.
Like the bum. Yeah.
Oh, like a little bum.
My oldest calls it a baby factory.
Oh, it does look like a little bit like that.
Yeah, it's
It
like
reminds
she
me.
calls it swaddling, and then this is the butt cream you have to put on.
Okay, so we're gonna sample this sourdough, and so talk about scoring. Like there are certain breads you really do need to do that score. Why and how and where?
After we shape this, we're gonna put it in the fridge overnight, 12 to 18 hours. Then we're gonna take it out and bake it in a hot oven. The scoring is done with a very sharp blade or a razor blade, and essentially you're gonna create, if you feel that it's very, it's got some tension to it.
Yeah.
So when you actually cut it, you're giving it a spot where there's no tension, and that's gonna allow the bread to rise in the oven and open up.
So it doesn't explode.
Exactly, yeah. If you don't score it, it can just open where it wants. So you're basically creating a weak point. The steam from the oven, you add steam to these types of bread, it lands on it, that weak point opens. Now you can get super fancy and do little patterns and colors. It is definitely, in my opinion, better to do a very clean score for the max volume.
Yeah.
But if you want to have fun and you want to, showcase your work, or maybe you want to do a little YouTube magic, you can make a little cool pattern with it.
Yeah.
Kids, my daughter can do it. She likes to score them. She put a little tree or something like that.
I love that you've got your kids involved.
Yeah.
Matthew, this is just incredible. Thank you for this bread. Absolutely great. We're gonna eat it all right now, and then we'll be back, so don't go anywhere.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.